Now, do you hear something? You know, I see I have the. There we go. I don't know what was going on. I'm sorry. I did something. I don't know if you're still here. I hope you are. Thank you for staying. Please click the thumbs up. I acquired some new bills, and I could use as much attention as possible. I'll show you some paintings I did yesterday in a bit. Let me finish up this contemplative mermaid. So I don't know why she's contemplating. Let me turn the sound off now that I have it. Well, that's silly. I'm playing this music and no one can hear it. Can't hear me talking. I don't know what happened. Yeah, I lost all my because Dussinger. I think you're on we're on my Instagram page. My Instagram page vanished about 20 about 25 hours ago. Was I hacked again? I don't know. Because the password was so convoluted, I can't imagine someone figured it out. But it's gone. That had the longest set of friends on it, and I'll see if I can get it back, but it is definitely gone. In fact, I had a little trouble signing back onto Facebook here. Kind of wish I'd done Instagram when I was at the homeschool convention, because then I could know whether it was working there. But it's just just so much going on there. You do what you can. It said that I lost at 8 something Pacific time yesterday. Actually, it would have been before 6, then it would have been 4 or something. So if you saw anything from me on Instagram before, you won't see it again, apparently. I mean, I hope sometime, but I doubt it. There's some friends that I lost during the hacking. That a lot of friends I still had on Instagram. Now I just was all them Jackie Harris and Jason. Because Bill, you use Instagram, don't you? Or maybe Bill left. I don't know. Is Andrea? Who's here? Interaction is always good with me, and I really appreciate any thumbs up. Please, the more than I will be doing a live tomorrow. I'll do a mermaid, but I'll also be doing some watercolor, and I'll show you just in a minute some watercolor I did yesterday, which I've not posted yet. I'll post it tomorrow. I need to post on here some of the pictures I did at the homeschool convention. I posted them on Facebook, but I was going to post them on Instagram when I found out I didn't have Instagram. Don't if you hear me now? Oh, everybody's gone. It looks like. Well, thank you for watching, Belle. And I will be selling some artwork. There will be stuff on Fine Art America, but trying to get. I wish my friend DJ would join us here. Dennis, I actually need to talk to him, who's helped me sell things on eBay. Because we want to sell some artwork over there, and I've got to do something about that. I didn't even do a mermaid yesterday. I'm at the homeschool convention all day. I did so much work, so many drawings. Holy cats! And teaching Florida history and teaching Florida natural history too. Really great. Girls were asking about water moccasins, and I was telling them about so many of our snakes and where you can find them and what to do about them, what not to do about them. So these homeschoolers are so much smarter than your public school students, and yet they still know so little about outside Florida that they're living here. And I talked to a parent who knew so little about where she is. She's at Palm. I'm going to post something about that on Facebook shortly about Zachary Taylor Park, and they're right in Palm Beach County. They're within, for where they told me they lived, they're within 10 minutes from this park, and didn't know anything about Zachary Taylor and the Seminole Indian Wars. I thought so I was telling them all about it and why he was defeated. Bring us down a little bit. And how's your business doing, Bill? I know you post about it a lot. I was talking to a comic book company. I left their card here. Kingston Comics, and I didn't know they're actually based in Florida. I didn't know that. Based in Leesburg, not far from me, really. And I'm gonna go visit their place. But they apparently they're very pleased with what they're doing. They're just doing Christian comic books. Wow. I would be curious now that Diamond is gone, how generally comparing some of the independents to the big guys, the big two, if you will, is doing. Because I know because they're publishing tons of full color books and paying their artists. Good for them. Wow. And I was saying big subject of conversation over the last 2 days and this past week was getting me to really consider doing a Florida homeschool curriculum involving Florida history. However I might do it. Put some eelgrass in here. Well, good for y'all. Yeah, I was, I'm just such a working stiff right now with the work I'm doing. That I was going to go work tomorrow, and I was talking to a colleague, and this does this with me, and she said, "You really shouldn't go out on Memorial Day." All right, okay. So that's why I'll probably do a live here. I'll probably watercolor something. I'm going to pencil here, and I'll show you the watercolor I did. I got good reactions from it. On Facebook and from folks at the homeschool convention. So I went ahead and I penciled on board and watercolored two of those, and I'm going to do a pencil another one here today, and start producing more of these. Okay, now let's see. We can indicate there's some water here, which would be better to do with watercolor. But in fact, I did a watercolor. If you saw the one I did for the family from Melbourne on Facebook, I had to buy another watercolor set because my watercolors are missing. I don't know where they are. I I don't know. So after I had to get out of one car, I moved so much stuff around. I don't know where the heck anything is anymore. I'm really confused. I do have a bag of watercolor sets here. I didn't have it in the car with me, unfortunately, but I do. I've got tons of these things. Here's one. Actually, no, it's a little too small. But here's a watercolor set I've got. It's a little teeny thing. I've had this for 20 odd years. I haven't really used it much, which is why, well, my goodness, it's stuck. That's how long I've had. No, it's, so there's the watercolor set. Hardly used it. This cost me 40, 50 bucks back. This was back when I was working at Orlando City Hall. I still have it. Didn't have it with me though. Nope, fat lot of good it does. This is koi. I love koi watercolor. They are cheap, but I like them better than the more expensive ones. And I've got this nifty little watercolor. It's amazing how many I have, and I didn't have any with me. But I have this one. This is actually multi-layers. There's a cap that goes on that you can use to mix them. I've not used this. I just love how it looks. These actually screw on each of the levels. Neat. I could go on. I've got so many watercolor sets in here. Not one with me. Here's a mini one. It's still in the box. And I bought another set of watercolors. Here's a little mini one. Still in the box. This was, I only spent $9 for this. It's really neat. It flips out. All these little things flip out. But I kept the box with it. All right, enough of all that. Hello, Andy. I'm glad you're able to be back. Please click the thumbs up sign. I got this. This looks interesting. What this is a mini watercolor bag. You fill it full of water. I mean, you can use it for many things, but its intent is that you fill it full of water and you use it for your brush when you're watercoloring outside. Isn't that neat? All this, none of it with me yesterday. None of it. And there's more, but I'll stop. So now I've got still another one. I bought it from Miller Art and Paper with, oddly enough, I bought this paper last year. I talked to the guy. I had, there's a paper I use for caricature right now that I've used of theirs. It's watercolor paper. But the fellow there yesterday told me they don't make the one with a tooth in it anymore. It's all smooth. Well, that's not good for me with watercolor. I need that tooth to help with blending and such. So I didn't buy any from them. Anyway, there's Mermaid for whatever it's worth. Some mermaid that's contemplating a little fish comes by. Bit of a distraction. I'll show you the watercolors I did yesterday. Make sure I put a... It's funny, the lady who from Melbourne, and she and her family have been getting pictures from me for, I don't know, 10, 12 years now. She noticed I'd put dates on it, and I admit that's something I've started doing here. Actually, it was Melissa Busby who pointed out many times. And that's only to help me know I did it. I have a mermaid in this case for this date. I've always dated my caricatures. I guess I wasn't dating the happy animal drawings. Okay, here's the, oddly enough, the originals. I don't know where the originals are. I gave them away. That's why I don't have them. All I have are photographs. That's why I don't have the originals. Yeah, I like koi. I first discovered koi at Pearl Art Supply. This was back in the 90s. And when I was doing caricatures at the Disney Military Industrial Complex. And I was using some Winsor Newton and some others, but kois were real cheap, but they had a lot more earth tones. And I really liked those. And I still like them. They're not quite the same. They're not quite as good, and you can't get them the way you used to be able to buy them, but I like them. But I'll use anything now. Since then I had that experience. I mentioned the experience I had with cartoonist Jack Davis. and being at his studio and seeing him using a strip of watercolor, and that changed everything. That's why I went to Miller yesterday and bought a strip of watercolor because I knew that's what this was painted with, that strip. So and I painted the other thing I posted on Facebook. So I guess it doesn't really matter. I was telling a fellow who's actually joined this YouTube page and my Facebook page, Juan Paul JP. He was asking me a lot of questions, and I said it's not so much the watercolor, but it is the brushes. The little strip I got had a cheap. It's a praying watercolor set. It has a cheap brush in it. I said, never use the cheap brushes. The cheap brushes you'll think it's the watercolor, but it's the brush. You make sure you put a little money into a watercolor brush. Yeah, I mean, it's actually worth it. The ability to make it move the way you want it to. Otherwise, you're going to be fighting it. It's going to be like using computer graphics, or not computer graphics, but Cintiq or something, where it's trying to get you to work as like it wants, not how you would work. Anyway, so I did these two watercolors. These are both on a crescent board, and this is I originally did a pencil ink. I don't remember who it was for, but I have a photo of it. I'll post it here in the whatchamacallit thing. Yeah, Andrea, about how am I been doing? Just give me a call sometime. There's just been way too much going on. It's my typical May, how it started off a week before May this time, and then where I am now, it's like our whole world has changed. Everything, so much has changed. Good golly. All right, so here's this. So I'm going to put this up over on Fine Art America, but I'll also put it up for sale. I only put $20. What do you think, Bill? $20 for it? It take me a few minutes to do this, and I did this, which is a color version of the photograph I posted of the black and white. So I was going to pencil one here because I have a board, and I had a pencil. I had a pencil already, and tomorrow. Oh, something else I picked up at the homeschool convention is this is for folks who are studying scripture. It's called a journal. This is the primary. They have a junior and an adult. I've done some of my swampy books this way, but I really like how they've done this. I've never seen this, and I was talking to my friend Jeff Brenneman, who's done a ton of scripture stuff. He's never seen it either. Maybe Andrea, I don't know if you have, but it asks you to read a scripture and then draw what this verse makes you think of. And I've done the draw this. My philosophy swampy books have this in it. But I really like this. I've never seen it before. Very impressed. I also love this, the cat thing, copycat. So repeat 3 words at a time and repeat those words after the reader. Oh, that's great stuff. And this is primary. I think this is actually just as good for junior or adult, especially as younger people today don't seem to have the ability to take in the information and hold it. This is a way to do that. And that's something you might want to do with Caleb, Andrea. Have him repeat something you said, that 3 words or some part of history you're teaching him or whatever you're teaching, to make sure I'm sure he's absorbing it, but he might not be. That's a neat little thing. This also is saying about coloring, but I just really like how there's stickers in here, which I think the whole sticker thing's ridiculous, but I really like how this is laid out. It's pretty simple, pretty much the same thing over and over, but it's really cool. Okay, thank you, Bill. So I just had to purchase it. I really like it. I like how it's done. And again, I've been asked to consider doing a Florida history curriculum, and I may. I don't know how. I got so much going on. Oh, wait a minute, where's my pen? I had a pencil all ready to go. So I'm finding the things I pulled out. I was going to mention this. Tomorrow's Memorial Day. I went to the infamous Donut King. And I'll post a picture of this tomorrow on Swampy's Florida. I'm going to be doing a lot more pushing Swampy's Florida here, too. And I'll probably start doing more lives over there, too. Just because I need to get some more traction, and I really should be focusing on Swampy Florida than here, because this isn't going to generate much. I just brought this. I don't remember if I showed this, but I love the inking of this. Just love it. I'll probably show it again. I just love the inking. It's really wild and loose, and you see people trying to do something like this today, but it's a little too loose. It's a little too wild. A little discerning the difference, and this is a little too wild to some extent, but these brush lines are just outstanding. Most would have no idea how to do it today, more than most. I was talking to that with a lady with King's like, oh, I picked up this. I'm sharing all kinds of things. I was at a week ago Saturday. I worked going to various doors, and they were having a garage sale, and I picked up a few things. But I really like that little painting right there. Yeah, it cost me a big 25 cents, but just because of this, I like that little painting. It's interesting. Put the purple, the moon, the figure, the horse. It's a nice little. It's kind of surprising they made it so small. It's too bad they weren't doing the cover like this, right? They could have made it across. And I wonder where this painting is today. Interesting thing following Jack. Here's another one. I don't know who did it either. Looks like there's some signature here, but I can't make it out. Jack Ferragasso, I'm connected with, and was able to reconnect with him since the hacking. And he did a ton of covers for folks like this. And I've seen him. Over the decades, I'd seen his covers, didn't know it was him, and learned it was him because there's no, just done 77. Absolutely nothing saying who the person is. Have no idea. Have no idea if this page could be Jack Ferragasso for all I know. But it does, there's nothing. It's just sad. Well, same with his Looney Tunes. Well, I'll credit the folks like the comic book historians and Anthony Marquez. They're tracking some of this down. We're learning who's done this and that. This is such an obvious style, and there were seemingly I think there's 15 or so covers that have this kind of style. Not the same inside, but the covers are like this, and so I'm sure someone knows who that is, and I could probably anyway. Enough of that. I'll lose folks if I don't get going here. And so I was looking for I had a pencil set aside. That's why I went through all of that, because I thought I had the pencils sitting here, and I ain't got the pencils. All right, got pencils here. Not the pencil I was going to use, but so be it. So another Mr. Diffuser one. Let's see. Oh, here I got my headphones on for some reason. Let me take my headphones off. Or I couldn't hear anything. No, it's fun drawing with pencil. Here, just put some words up there. Anything, cat, dog, hippopotamus, whatever you see writing. Let me see what you've been writing about. Koi water fish. Well, that's an interesting thought. A fish watercoloring. I don't know how pencil shows up here, or if it does. He's got a mustache. And a beret. Something else I may do here. I've got to find out. I've been asked by a friend to do a birthday card for someone turning 99 on Friday, and with my current situation being what it is, trying to get down, this would be a trip to Orlando. Trying to get down there right now would be not easy. I wonder if I might do it and then just send it, and they could print it out and use it. And I might do, if I can do that, either way I may do it here, but I need to do it tomorrow because I'll be back to the work. Birthday being Friday, I just because I can't work tomorrow. I've got to work the other days. So trying to work 7 hours a day is I'm just not doing well with it. I did it yesterday. It's one thing drawing like this. It's something else to go driving around, and even with air conditioning, it's tough. I'm trying doing that 7 hours. Whew. Just don't know. I don't know if I'd be able to even drive Friday. I'm trying to. And the reason $20 for that picture is I'm just not sure what to sell things for anymore. I don't know why I'm doing I guess you'd have it up on a rock someplace, on a ledge on a rock. I'm not even sure about it. I'm debating the whole doing the if I can do that birthday card because I'd like to because it's this person who started this business that I grew up with in Orlando. If you see what pictures I post on Facebook, I'll put it here too. It's someone drawing a cat. I forget what I was. Oh, it was a fellow JP John Paul. John, that was funny. Explaining how what you draw and what you end result aren't the same. So I like working pencil. So the thing that I love most, what really caught my eye involving Neil Adams, was when I picked up Green Lantern, Green Arrow comics at a place called the Pre-Read Bookstore in College Park, Orlando. And it was one I picked up that had pencils by Adams in the back, a pencil to cover it that in the end wasn't used or something like that. And I was just, I realize there's something you can get with pencil you can't get with anything else. Though I don't find that true for colored pencil. Yeah, I do a little bit if it's really soft, but even if it's really soft, it tends to be a little too soft. Oh, Elaine, you didn't see you're one that sparked me to do this painting. Those who liked and commented, but there's the watercolor version of the possum picture I did yesterday. I posted. I did at the homeschool convention. I did two watercolors. Those I got most. There's a third one that got a lot of response, and I figure I'll do a version of that too. And I did these. Completely forgot watercolors. Anything. I just showed I have a whole ton of portable watercolor. I had none of them with me. I had to go buy one over at Miller Art Supply at the homeschool convention, and I did the one I posted with the mother of so many of the young people I've done drawings for over about 12 years of her family who visited, and then I did these two. How about that? Well, I'm gonna do more. In fact, that's what this board is for, and that's why I was picking up this pencil because I was gonna do. But I'm not. I'm trying to figure out what was another one folks like. Well, put the rest of it. Oh no, actually, well, hold on. Send it. There we go. I understand. Both Michelle, as you said, her name's is archival, but it's archival. Her last name's archival. I was telling her, yeah, I'll have a training as an archivist. But both that photo and the one that Karen Giroux posted. Oh, it wasn't Karen. It was Michelle who posted that. If people don't understand, don't take full figure pictures. When you're taking a photograph, you want to get the story. The story's not, unless you're doing something with your legs like dancing, you want to make sure you shape your photo to tell the story. And both photos that are posted on Facebook, I don't care for. And I wish they didn't look like the way they did. Okay, so what were the other pictures folks liked that I posted? If you remember, I'm going to explain the Zachary Taylor picture. I'm going to do a separate post today about that. I'll post the two watercolors tomorrow. Those little girls in the snake were fun. They like water moccasins, but knew so little about them. I was explaining about them. I did an osprey one. There's that alligator. What was one you all liked? Or was it the other day before? It was the day before. I'm sorry. I did 3 posts of artwork. Oh, there it is. Oh, the bear. People like the bear and the bird. There are 3 of those. Thank you. I mean, it's really astonishing how little attention this is getting hacked. Unbelievable. Wait, make this sound happen. I'm all over the place. Okay. Hold on, keep that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put this over here. Boom. I'm going to get rid of that so I can see what I'm doing. Rid of that. There we go. Oh. Oh no, no, these are so they love snakes, and I asked them which snake, and one of the two girls said water moccasins. So I was as I drew, it was hard to do water moccasins with any speed. I did one in something I did. I did one recently, and it just was really time consuming getting the pattern right of how the markings are on the snake. Uh, so I did the best I could with speed, but because I was also telling them about my adventures with water moccasin uh, and birds and snakes in general. Okay, here I have a pencil. Oh, I got a pencil. Let me go back to what is this pencil? It's a low Cornell, which used to be a really fine pencil, but their line has really dropped. I was really surprised how much Ticonderoga they had at Miller Art Supply. I was going to tell them, we used to produce the majority of pencils out of Florida for Ticonderoga. They had a monster operation in Florida, monster, and it all packed up and went away. Oh, Florida Southern Colors, so the moccasins. I didn't know that. A number of folks from Lakeland. There was a big protest at Munn Park. What a mess! How on earth? A friend of mine's involved, but then some folks at the homeschool convention were telling me that someone they knew was involved, and it was just, oh, what a mess. People need to calm down. We all need to learn to get along better. We all may not agree on certain issues and ideas, but we can still discuss things. And reason and logic should be our only drawing force. Only drawing force. Fortunate that's not the case. And the media is directly at fault. Everyone's a bad guy. Okay, hold on, I gotta get rid of this. I'm getting confused by something I'm seeing. Well, you saw the moccasin I drew. It's not a great drawing. It'll do. All right, so let me think about doing this bear bird. And the intent is I need to sell stuff badly. My financial situation pl- plummeted here. This is going to be hard to do. I do have a larger one. Hold on, maybe I should use this larger one. But a couple larger ones. I'm going to use a large one. So the intent is tomorrow I'll come on and do some watercoloring. And here I'm going to pencil. And I need to get more active on Swampy, Florida. That's got to happen. I'm at 38. Please, if you haven't liked Swampy, Florida, please do on Facebook. And I need to do it here too. Okay, I can make this a cardinal. I just need to get a picture of cardinals. Now, should it be a cardinal from New York out of that diocese, or which diocese should it be? I can't believe how I type in critters. This is how bad we've gotten. I type in critters and I get sports teams, businesses, and no, guys, stop it. The first thing should come up are Cardinals, the birds, not some sports team or some other stupid thing. We're so goofed up here. Okay, I better make sure I pull this photo off. Forget. Let me see if I found it at this angle. Actually, that's a great one. Can I do it? Can I get that? Ooh. I know the angle I want. Give me just a moment to find it. And I'm just going to pencil it because here's what I did with these two. I don't know, Bill Dussinger's still with us. What I did here, you'll notice there's black line. All of the lines here were added after the watercolor. I penciled, I watercolored, I did some erasing, and then I put in the black ink. So a little different process. A little subtler. Okay, back to wherever I was. All right, I know the angle I want the bird. I don't know, they may not have it. It's a weird angle. That's why I need the photo, because the angle's so weird involving the cardinal. Yeah, and if I do happen to come into Orange, Seminole County at the end of the week, I'll let you know, Elaine, because I still have a bunch of books for you. Because I picked up more poetry books, and I really need to get rid of these things. They're in the way. Oh, that's neat. I don't know if Bill's still here, but I wonder how much he's feeling the effects of AI. I am. I know. So many of my colleagues were being killed by technology. And that's why look, a couple of people came up. They wanted me to tell them. John Paul was the only person I actually deep got into talk about art stuff, only because he's older. He's not going to make a career of it. But the parents bringing children up, I said, look, I don't want to lie to you. There's just no future in this. There's nothing you're going to do that's going to make the. I mean, the possibility of him being able to make money is about zero. Maybe it's 5%, but that'd be best. Yes, I believe the AI stuff is going to completely wipe out the need for anyone to be able to draw. You just type it in, get whatever you want, drawing, picture, whatever. You don't need someone to draw. That will be the case only in the United States. Around the world, different. But here, where profits count, that's the deal. It's kind of the angle. Let me just make sure I pull this photo before I do it. All right, got a cardinal picture here. I think I can use. I lost it. Change the name. Get back here and kill that. What I was doing. So take that. Try again. All right. Sorry. Give me a minute. I just want to make this just because of the angle. I want to make sure I get that. Yeah, and you know, Bill, if you had done the same thing just good enough, they'd be yelling and screaming, demanding their money back. That's what makes me crazy. As much as the garbage we've gone, in my case, 40. This here about 3 weeks will make 46 years officially since I started professionally, being paid to do all sorts of artwork. All the mess going through with so many clients who don't like this and don't like that. Oh, that line, can you move it that way? Or this color, can you make it more like that? Now, just because they can type it in, they're accepting whatever comes because computers can do no wrong. That mindset is a sick attitude. It really upsets me. I gave this talk on the history of Florida transportation and the cross-border barge canal. It sounds like a completely separate subject, but basically this is what we discussed. This was later on in the discussion. I brought up the problems of AI and how they're taking over how transportation is being done and designed, because some of the transportation planners are finding they don't necessarily need someone to draw all this stuff out. They just type in, they get whatever they get, and they turn that in for approval as to what their roads are going to look like. And the plonkers as politicians have no idea, and they just go ahead and accept it. They have no idea because they don't. The road builders don't care. They're just trying to get the project through. They get a bag of cash. They don't care how it gets built and how long it takes or anything else, even though they are supposed to follow a schedule. Anyway, I go on from that. Just makes me crazy. Well, Elaine, that's not. I know what you're saying, but it's not really true for the person who receives the artwork, and that's the difference. Oh, I'm sorry, my hands are blocking. That's just not true because they don't know the difference. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at. I mean, again, I have friends who are publishing their own writing and are using AI for illustrating, and they'll complain about how AI is being used for writing, but they won't complain enough about how AI is being used for artwork, and there's the problem. Here, I need a little sharper pencil to get to this. Can I do that? Where's this picture? Oh, I lost one. I've got two different pictures going on. Hold on. See, with AI, the length of time it's taken me to do all this, you could have typed it in and you would have gotten your image. Isn't that terrible? It's true. It's true. Oh, shoot. Oh, I see what I did. I actually made the bear, the bird's way too big, so I made it basically that has to be a baby bear. So the bird's got to be like here. Oh, shoot. I did make sure I had to use an eraser. AI, you don't need erasers. I got it. In the capitalist world, that works just fine. And we are a capitalist country. I don't play well with that, obviously. It really is hurting business, Elaine. It really is. And I mentioned this to some money guys, and they just don't understand. All right, well, you're going to have to do something else. What? We're basically being told, like the factories during the Industrial Revolution. Oh, I can't get that. I got to watch my area there. Now, what I'm not clear of, I briefly was at the Fiesta in the Park, a big art show. I didn't realize it had been reduced to almost nothing. Um, but just going there, I was kind of talking to some folks there about that. And they couldn't, they're hand making stuff, and they can't quite relate to the idea that AI is in their way of making money. And I think they just don't quite understand that folks don't have to get what they're hand making. They can go ahead and just get, they can get something that looks like it. Again, people are like Bill and I were just exchanging. They're agreeing to accept the lesser because they don't know any better. If it was being hand done, what it is this is what I'm sure Bill too, but over my 46 years, it's more of wanting to be controlling individuals so they can yell and scream at them just to release stuff. With AI, you have no one to scream at, so you just accept it. As I say, my swampy Florida Gopher Tours book was supposed to be here Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Still not here. What do I do about it? Who do I complain to? You can't. You can't complain about AI. You're stuck with it. There's no one to complain to. You just accept it, move on. But if they made a line off or something, they'd be yelling and screaming and wanting their money back and refusing to pay for it. Unbelievable. No, see, Elaine, I put a little pencil dot there. That's art, and this is where I was talking to someone else about this. Art, you don't create art. You create artwork. You create images. Art is an amorphous term for everything. So I see that this is something new that I've seen. People saying, and especially these are usually lofty, feathery head individuals who say, I do art. The hell does that mean? It can mean anything. I mean, Elaine, you do artwork, and Bill certainly does, but Andrea does art in that sense. Art, not necessarily artwork. She does art. There's an art to things. Art is not it is not an image. It's not a image. It is it's this, it's that, it's everything. It's how this got made. It's everything. But I know it knows it's being used as for individual pieces, and that throws you off further with the AI stuff because suddenly AI could be art, and it is artwork, but not work, is it? Look how the terminology is changing our viewpoint as to what things are. This is artwork. This is 46 years of artwork that got me to do this. Let me see if I can draw the buyer. I should have put this over a little more. That was a boo-boo on my part. Oh, okay, I'll make use of it by doing the branch coming out this way. This branch needs to be bigger. Maybe I can put a branch down here. Yeah, well, Bill wrote what he wrote. That so if a client types in something, and I think that's also why we see people not using. Of course, I come from an English literature family, so I'm really picky about making sure there's punctuation. Well, punctuation isn't being used anymore. Why? Because they're typing it in the computer, and they say, because I typed in the computer, I see it in the computer, it's right. Our variation of right, wrong, reality, facts is completely altered. I mean, it's very obvious to me. The virus hysteria could not have existed prior to computers. They happen. It exists before, during, after computers, because people want to believe what is being seen by a computer. This is exactly, basically, all the warnings Kurt Vonnegut had. But going back to someone I mentioned many times, Thorstein Veblen, warning that when you let technology take over, you are not no longer are you no longer thinking, but you're not able to actually perform as a human being. Well, yeah, the AI is regurgitating the artwork that we've done, and it's using mine, it's using Bill's, it's using Jack Davis, it's using Will Elder, it's using Dolly, it's using all these picture people, and it's an amalgam of all that. That's called, in other worlds, that would be called thievery, but because it's a computer, we accept it. And the thing is, that thing in Chicago you saw does fit in terminology of art, but is it artwork? Is it something that should be regarded with any kind of esteem or any kind of accolades? No. But it will, because people, the less brighter they get, the worse that kind of thing gets accepted, as AI has been accepted. It's important that we, the thinking, get in the way of that nonsense. As I said with Tabitha, I mean, she can really create some great artwork, but is there a place for it? Well, if she does it digitally, either way she does it, there's really no place for it, because you can create just faster and better, quote unquote better, with the AI stuff. But I think it's a tragedy that it's pretty much impossible for her to be able to get to any level. If she was born 50 years ago, there's lots of places for her to go, and now there's almost nowhere. And people's, the question is, folks are learning the work I'm doing right now. Is what the hell am I doing this artwork, doing this work I'm doing, when I could do all this artwork? Because no one wants it. It's not maybe I'm old fashioned or whatever, but it's not just me. I'm talking to lots and lots of folks who can't get to. Well, I was talking to the Kingstone, again, Kingstone Comics, who did a series of Christian comic books, and they're using an older style. They're not using the current style of comics. They're actually using styles that I was taught, Kubert School, which I like. But how they're selling. They said they're doing very well, but that's because they're selling to a very specific group. Um, and that's good for them. They're not using AI. They're using real people doing real writing, doing real illustration work. Good. I'm glad. You know what? I do not have him. I had more of a cockeyed look in the original picture. Let me try to get that cockeyed look. Notice me erasing something you didn't used to see me do here at all. Make sure. I want to show there's a direct interaction between these two. So I'll probably tomorrow I'll probably paint this. I'm gonna get a hold of Kyle Gabriel and see about doing this 99-year-old piece, because if I do, I'll probably do it here. I need to create more content. I need to be more very concerned about my financial situation. I can't believe it seemed like it was just getting better. It just got a lot worse. I'm still not tilting it the same I did. How did I do that? I think working large helped. Well, it's like putting that dot or that Chicago thing. Same thing. It's still creating, aren't you? I mean, I don't like it, but it's true. Again, AI, you could have typed in what I'm trying to do here and had this image however long ago I started. What time is it? Oh my God, it's 8:04. Yes, but it's too bad that she won't probably be able to get real work from it beyond just what she's doing. It's just there's just nowhere to go. I mentioned her doing some it's better. Now I made the bear really big. That's kind of good that he's a bear and there's a bird. Her doing some independent comics, but the art world's not has no, especially as AI has been taking over. There's nowhere to go, and you gotta admire these guys because I find it interesting. Their business card has the lady's name, Natalie, and you don't know the name of the company. It's not mentioned on here. So you have to kind of know what it's for. But Kingstone Comics is that they're able to create full-fledged, what they call pamphlet comics today. I like pamphlet comics. Again, trying to deride a comic book. Is it I noticed that the book world has gone more and more to 300 to 400 pages for any book, paperback, whatever. And yet, my favorite, even well, this is some of my favorite books are well written that are only 200 pages because they're sharp, they're direct, they get the job done. Really impressive. It's actually easier to write longer pieces because you can go on and on. If you're a good writer, you should be able to write, and that's something I have a problem with, is writing short form. I like the one I did yesterday better, but oh well. There's also a time to stop. Let me make sure I'm gonna make it look though that he's more holding on to this branch than I did in the other. So tomorrow I hope to do this in color. Maybe that branch will look heavier, older. I had that one go off the page. So yes, I can do things in pencil, and then again I'm going to do this in pencil, and then I'm going to watercolor, and then I'll ink. Lightly ink. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why it's cutting out. I can't hear anything. Maybe because I'm moving away. And cut this music off. Maybe that's the problem. I guess probably because I was moving away. Actually, I'm having this up at high level. I don't know why the sound is so bad. Well, thank you all for being here. Please click the like if you can. I'd appreciate it. The rest of this is going to be pretty easy. I just need to get that branch in there. Actually, their tails tend to be, in Florida, their tails tend to be nearly non-existent. And they would fold in a little bit. Okay, I think I'm ready for color for this. This looks really different than the one I did at the homeschool convention. Okay. Sure I get shadows in here too. There's gonna be a lot of shadows. Okay, so watercolor plan for tomorrow is for this, and let me see about that 90-year-old birthday card. So I'm basically saying the color, the light's coming from this way. interesting action I'm taking here, which then makes this darker. And that branch is going to shadow out this way. Alright, so this, and this, and this. And through here. I guess I don't know why it sounds so bad. I guess I need to look at. I tried microphones before, it didn't work. So maybe it's time to try it again. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Rob Smith here. And watercolor. I don't know what time they're on. Probably earlier. All right, bye bye.